Bet you didn't know I was down there, did ya? Alright, welcome back everybody to day 4 of 30 videos in 30 days. Today I'm going to be talking about who am I trying to impress? And it's a little bit sort of overlapping with caring about what other people think. It's something that I've faced as a challenge for quite a while, to be honest, and certainly it's more paramount when making content or posting stuff online because you're putting it out to the public. So that's what I'm going to talk about today, but first I need to get on with my miracle morning and have a coffee as per normal. So I will see you in a little bit for the walk and talk. Alright, let's go. Lao Tzu once said, care about what other people think and you will always be their prisoner. And that, my friends, is the premise of what we're going to be talking about today. How we can think these things in our head and think what people are going to be saying, what they're going to be judging, and how it traps us into not doing things. So yesterday I spoke about just starting. And one of the reasons why we don't just start is because we worry about the judgment of what other people are going to think. Now, yesterday I mentioned that a lot of what I talk about is geared around posting content online and caring about what other people think. For example, how many of you would go for a dance in public and not care about people watching, right? Hey, are you okay? How many of you would do that? It's embarrassing, right? But there's that quote that says, dance like nobody's watching. Why do we care so much? Especially in the UK, I think we're a very prideful bunch. Even then, that dude walking past, prime example. In the past, there's been, the last 3 days, people walking past and I've stopped filming and started again. I thought, nah, I don't want to do that. I want to be able to carry on filming when someone walks past. I'm actually quite proud that I haven't just flicked the camera off. He gave me a good stare. He had a good look, and I think, oh God, what's this person going to think of me walking along with a camera in my hand, talking as if I'm some kind of special person? That's what kind of goes round in my brain. So, in terms of posting things in public, like on YouTube, you're leaving yourself open for judgment. You're leaving people open to, leave comments and say this and who do you think you are? Da-da-da-da-da. So one of the challenges that I also want to do in a future video is walk around a town that's fairly public and just walk around with my camera and try and film some things like grabbing a coffee or going and doing some shopping or picking something up from a little gift shop or something and filming it and not being embarrassed by the fact that I'm filming it. And I think it's interesting to think what would the shift in perspective be if I had 100,000 subscribers? Would I care as much? Or would it be that, I feel emboldened by the fact if anybody turned around and said something, I could be like, well, I've got 100,000 subscribers, shut up. But that shouldn't be important. It shouldn't be like that. I don't know why it is like that, but we should be able to just go out, or I should just be able to go out, film, and it'd be fun. It'd be a creative project. I shouldn't feel the pressure of needing to prove it and validate it by having a certain amount of subscribers or having a certain amount of success with it. Plenty of people go out and film stuff. We watch loads of TV. People watch YouTube. It's a thing, right? But anyway, I digress. Let's get back on point. Not worrying about what other people think and how much we can worry about what someone's going to say. Like, for example, gym's a good one as well. Going to the gym if you don't know what you're doing or you don't know how to use the machines, you might worry about, you know, someone looking and going, what the hell are they doing? What are they thinking being here? But we all have to start somewhere. You don't just immediately start and know what to do with these things. You have to be able to be a fool in order to grow into being somebody that either is an amateur or a novice or a professional, or, you know, somebody that just geeks out on it and doesn't need to turn it into something. So yeah, what it is with that quote by Lao Tzu, I don't know, is it Lao Tzu? I don't know how to pronounce his name, but, you know, care about what other people think and you'll forever be their prisoner. We build our own prison, and none of it is actually the reality. None of it is actually what is going on. It's all up here inside our own brains. And so we build our own prison. Like, our worries are almost like our own like bars that we're putting on our prison around us. Because 9 times out of 10, there's this guy I follow on Instagram, and he says, who do you think you are to be so special that you're worrying that this person that's walked past you or blah, 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 blah gives a damn about you, really? Like, they have got so much going on in their own lives. Everybody's got so much going on in their own lives. They might think about it for a fleeting 10 seconds, but then it's gone. They're onto their own world, they're in their own day. So to build up your whole brain with all these worries of what people are thinking, it's almost like borderline narcissist, you know? It's like, who do you think you are to think that everybody gives that much of a damn about you and what you're doing? Because they really don't. And there's another one as well. There's another quote by a guy called Seneca, who is a Stoic kind of philosophist. He says, we suffer more in imagination than we do in reality. I think that's a really awesome one as well. You know, it just depicts exactly what I've been saying. Don't you just love these philosophists or these people that get such, valuable bits of information in short little palatable nutshells? It's bloody awesome. And it paints a picture, doesn't it? We suffer more in our imagination than we do in reality, because we conjure all these things up in our brain, and none of them, maybe, are even a reality. Some of them are, of course. You know, there are some things that you do have to worry about and care about, but caring what other people think, nah. We should be dancing like nobody's watching. We should be doing things that we want to do, that we feel passionate about, and we shouldn't care what people are going to say. Because 9 times out of 10, anybody that's judging is either jealous or they're coming at it from a place of pain or suffering. Like, if you haven't got nothing nice to say, keep your mouth shut. Like, I would never judge anybody. If I saw someone with a camera, I'd be hyped. If I saw someone starting their own business and they were starting off small, I would try and motivate them. I would try and be nice. Like, at least you're doing something. At least you're trying, you know? And why don't we have that perspective more in life? Instead, we do seem to have a lot of judgment. But anyway, I mean, that Seneca bloke, take it with a pinch of salt if you want, because something that I learned recently is that he was born 2,000 years ago, roughly, in Spain, I think. I think the guy that Seneca tutored was a guy called Nero, and Seneca was like cast off to some island for 7 years, and then Nero's mum, I think it was, got him to come back to wherever it was, the mainland or whatever, and he started tutoring Nero. And then when Nero became the emperor, after, I think they had like 4 or 5 years where things were pretty good. It was like a good government, it was a good governing kind of body, a good system. But then Nero turned proper tyrannical, and everybody said, Seneca, how could you possibly, with all your wisdom, be tutoring this guy, and have tutored him, and he turned out so badly. But, you know, that goes to the whole question of nurture or nature. What is evil? What is tyranny? Oh yeah, and then turns out, that's the back end of the story. So some years into their, into their relationship, Nero got a bit, what's it called, paranoid? Yeah, got a bit paranoid and thought that Seneca was planning to overthrow Nero as the emperor, and ordered Seneca to kill himself. And that's it, ordered him to death, but not just death, had to do it himself. So that's a crazy story, isn't it? Imagine that. I can't even begin to think what that must have been like for Seneca as he's going through it. And he's sat there and he's got his sword, or however it was that he did it. Must be thinking, because it was wrong. Seneca wasn't trying to overturn the emperor. It was more that Nero got proper tyrannical and nervous about wanting to keep his power, and decided to off anybody that he thought was a risk to his, his stuff. So anyway, I digress. We were talking about, not caring what other people think. So from my perspective, I'm posting on YouTube, and I'm going to start posting on Instagram and other areas as well. And I think one of the other factors in this is worrying about not only just strangers and what they might think, and maybe the comments that you might get, and maybe like when I'm talking like this, I get back and I start editing it and I'm like, oh, I forgot to say this, or I forgot to say that, and somebody might think this and somebody might think that. I haven't put enough caveats in. But on top of that, the strangers, the comments that you leave yourself open to, you've got people from your past looking in, and people that you used to know, friends, and you leave yourself open to this whole sort of judgment thing. Well, I certainly think it in my brain sometimes. It's like, oh my God, what are they going to think if they saw this video? Are they going to think, who does he think he is, and why is he doing that, and what a numpty? Why doesn't he just get a real job and do life like a normal person? And all of that comes up in my brain, and you have to just ignore it, because like the quote says, it will end up becoming your own prison. You won't make a move, you won't start, like yesterday's video, if you keep on imprisoning yourself with these thoughts of like, oh my God, what about that, what about this, what about that? So that's my own personal kind of slant on why I've found it important. And again, this is why I read my affirmations every day, because I've got a reminder of that. I write that down. I literally write down those words. I've got those quotes in my affirmations because it's important for me to remember. Sometimes your brain can run amok, even though it knows it. I know it. I know the quote. Your brain still sort of takes over sometimes, and you have to remind yourself why you're doing it. You have to remind yourself of why you're sticking the course, why you are doing what you're doing, and to remember not to allow those crazy thoughts of, oh my God, what are people going to think, to enter in. I really like those two quotes. They accurately sort of depict something that I'm very much have had as an ongoing thing in my life. When I tried to start a podcast, when I tried to do this, when I tried to do that, I've always had that thing in the back of my head, because nobody wants to fail publicly. So that's one of the reasons why it took me so long to start as well. It's like I needed to make sure that I was in a place where I was going to be consistent with it, because otherwise, if I post 2 or 3 or 4 videos and then I fall off the face of the earth, that leaves myself open to the same judgment again. Oh, he's failed, he's stopped, he's not done it, he's not succeeded. And there's no harm in trying. To coin a 50-cent phrase, get rich or die trying. But these kind of thoughts are leading me on to some other thoughts. There's a Carl Jung quote that talks about, I think it says something along the lines of, no man is free who is not in charge of himself, or something along them lines. But basically, what is freedom? What is freedom? Because for the longest time, I can remember thinking, why would I want to work my entire life to get to retirement age and then do nothing? And is freedom doing nothing? Is freedom having nothing going on, like you just have the total freedom to do what you want when you want? But then if you have the total freedom to do what you want when you want, would you have some kind of discipline and structure and sense of purpose and fulfillment in doing things? And by doing things, do you need to have that discipline? And if you've got that discipline, are you free? Because you're still telling yourself to do things. So what is freedom, And that's what my brain's been thinking about as an extension of today's video. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit tomorrow. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, a little bit shorter and sweeter. Progress report, day 4. is I felt a little bit ropey this morning, but better than yesterday. I've got on and done everything that I needed to do, and tomorrow I've got a day off, so I'm going to actually travel all the way down to Glencoe. It's about a 2-hour drive. I've booked a campsite there, and I'm going to bring you along with me, and we're going to do all of the normal things but in a different location, so that should be fun. Yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe. I'd love to have you along on the journey. If you've got any thoughts or comments or any other quotes that depict what I've spoken about today, I'd love to hear them. Drop them down in the comments, and I hope you all have splendid days or evenings, depends when this video will get uploaded. And I shall see you tomorrow for day number 5. 5, baby, we're nearly a week in. Let's go!